Darcy McBride with Battlefield Fight League. I am here with title challenger, mainstay in the BC scene, and a dude that is, on everybody's list of top prospects in Canada yet to make it to the show. I'm talking about Ali Wasuk. Ali, you're facing Ty Wilson for the title, 135 vacant championship, February 8th. Where's your mind at right now, brother?
I think that this is a great matchup. I think he's gonna bring out the best version of me, and I'm looking to put him out in this fight. I'm not letting it go to the judges. So it's gonna be an exciting fight for all the fans out there, and I'm super excited for February 8th.
This isn't your first time competing live on UFC Fight Pass, where a lot of fighters and martial artists get into this position and they maybe have those ring rust or jitters, and they're gonna This is a little different than most. When you have your experience on UFC Fight Pass, a lot of fighters step in for the first time. They'll have the jitters, maybe a little ring rust if they haven't been in action. You're a guy who's had many, many fights now on UFC Fight Pass Live. Now, still, that platform does mean a lot, but the difference is there's no nerves involved with that anymore, I'm going to guess. Talk about the exposure level that you're going to see as a main event fight on February 8th.
I think like throughout my whole career, I've never turned down any fights. I've always chose the toughest, biggest fights available. And that's kind of just set me up for just being comfortable in the cage. It just feels like home to me. So, I'm super excited. I perform on the big stages super well. I love the pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, baby. So I'm ready.
I love it. Ty Wilson, what do you know about him? Let's talk about him. Where do you think you take this fight to make it a light night of work for Ali Wasuk? Or is that even possible when you're facing competition at this level?
Yeah, I mean when you're the top, and I've been the top for a while now. I've always fought tough guys. Everybody thinks they have the recipe to beat me. So, it's gonna be no different here. I have all the tools to beat Ty, and come fight day, I'm gonna look to pick the right tool and look to put him out. And I know that he comes from a good camp. I know that he's got good coaches behind him. I've gotten a chance to train out there. Phenomenal facility. High level coaching, but the difference is that those coaches and those guys that are at that gym isn't going to be the ones fighting me. It's going to be Ty Wilson, and I know that I'm going to be able to put him out that night.
You've been working with Cajun Johnson for a long time in the Lower Mainland. I believe we're correct to assume he will be part of your corner and team February 8th. What does it mean to have somebody with that big game experience all the way to the UFC level, prior in the MFC? This man has had belts wrapped around his waist in different promotions. Having somebody like that when you're about to go step in there, kind of like having somebody who's already done it. The difference in that, talk a little bit about that.
I think the beauty of that is that me and Cage work super close together. I message him every day. My phone's blowing up. I can guarantee you there's going to be messages of him showing me tape and different things that we're going to be working on this week. And then also adding on Lions MMA and my team, Coach Paulie and all those guys, high level strikers there as well. But when it comes to Cage, man, like I just don't truly believe that there's very many people in this game that understand the MMA game as well as he does. His understanding of just reading things and watching fights and picking things up is second to none. So I'm super excited, and we're gonna have a good game plan coming February 8th.
Very cool. Let's jump off the fight-specific stuff for a second. And I mentioned off the top you're a mainstay in this BC scene, but before you were fighting, you were obviously watching what was going on. We've seen Battlefield go from having, MMA at the station, full amateur shows, to now we're about to hit coming up on our 80th event, and we're fully in the UFC Fight Pass platform. What does it mean as an athlete coming up? And I'm sure you see it in the gym with some of the amateurs. They're going, man, Ali's my training partner, and he's on the UFC Fight Pass. You couldn't do that when you were getting started in this same promotion with BFL. So, how does that radiate across different levels as a martial artist?
Yeah, I believe that I've started my career with BFL. I've fought for an organization one other time, but my main thing was BFL, and seeing it develop to where it is now is amazing. The guys, I believe, that are coming up are always putting in harder rounds when it comes against me, and I love that. They try to test themselves and see where they're at in their careers against me. So those guys are always going extra hard when it comes to sparring against me or grappling against me. So I love that, man, and I love being a good guy in the game and being a good role model to all these up and comers. And The BC scene is no joke. There's high level guys out here, and I'm super excited.
Very cool. We're going to have a little fun with these last two. First of all, every fighter, and I know it even though I've done almost everything there is to do in the game other than the weight cut and the walk to the fight. I love myself some food. So I want to ask some of these guys that are, in the highest level of competition, what is that? I know it's not a literal carrot, but what is the proverbial carrot, that after fight meal? What's the first thing Ali Wasuk craves when the lights go out, the medicals are done, and you're on the way home?
Man, there's two things that I go for. It's pizza and anything chocolate. So those are my go-tos. So yeah, I'm super excited for that already.
I like it. Now I'm going to flip the script on you with this last one. I'm going to make you really think outside the box. Okay, you're fighting Ty Wilson for the 135-pound title February 8th. However, if you were stranded on a desert island with Ty Wilson, what is the one thing that you would bring to create friendship with this man and survive? How's that for an other side of the coin question? How do you and Ty Wilson get along stranded on a desert island?
Well, I think he's a good guy, man. What would I bring, man? I would bring maybe like some coconuts and give him some coconuts. And we're stranded on an island; it's gonna be hot, so I think that would be a good way to kind of break the ice. But we trained together before, so he's a solid guy, man. No hard feelings. We just top two guys have to go at it and fight for this belt right here. So
it is Bomaye time, February 8th, baby. Ali Wasuk back in action. We can't wait to see it, bro. I've watched this man starting from the amateur ranks. He goes at it with Ty Wilson, 5 rounds for that 135-pound title live. UFC Fight Pass, February 8th. Darcy McBride for Battlefield Fight League. Get that subscription locked.